So tonight I'm going to teach you a couple things that you should know. A couple little quick housekeeping things that you should know about Optapro is when you get stuck, if you get stuck, there's always help available in this upper right-hand corner over here. It's this orange icon. And when you click that, it'll open up a little menu, and the help, the chat is always available. And they're here in California with us, and they're awesome, and they've been training for months, so they're ready to field your questions. And so they're great. That's available to you. And then I want to make sure that everybody has access to the members area over here. And the members area is where all the quick little tutorials are. And you can see they're all pretty short, except for this one that's like 19 minutes, and that's because it's a pretty complicated procedure. But other than that, they're real short, and there's some troubleshooting stuff, advanced trainings at the bottom there. But what I'm going to teach you tonight is going to hopefully help you out a lot. So I would encourage you, if you have your own Optapro and you're able to, just follow along and build your own. And what we're going to do is we're going to build a reminder loop. And many of you have like team trainings at a certain time. Many of you have like coffee with clients or some version of that each week. And so what we're going to do is we're going to build a reminder loop so that you just like add a tag in it. We're going to remind them of this meeting every single week. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to automation over here on the left-hand side. I'm excited to teach you this because there's like, you're going to learn how to build a workflow, but in this, you're going to learn like 5 or 6 little things that apply to all the workflows that you will do. Okay. And once you master those 5 or 6 little things, it's all the same. So I'm going to show you, we'll build one up here. So go to automation and then go to create workflow. And these are like different pre-done recipes for you that you can explore later. Some of them probably won't be applied to 100% of being a health coach. Some of them are still kind of left in here from real estate stuff, but I left them in here because it gives you some good ideas. Like this one here, you can, if you have somebody's birthday, it will remind you that, hey, their birthday is coming up, and then send them a text automatically on their birthday, stuff like that. But for tonight, we're going to start from scratch. And we're going to, first thing we'll do is we'll name this thing here. I'm just going to call mine Coach Reminder Test so that I can find it easily in a few minutes here. So, but you can call yours Coach Reminder or Client Reminder, whatever you want to build. And then, so we'll name it. And then there are 2 different types of workflows in general. There's like a workflow that kind of hangs there in space, ready to be assigned at any moment, just like you guys have your start week. So the 2 workflows that you have one like ready to fire at any time, like your start week pre-made stuff that's ready to go. Like when you get a new client, like send this stuff out. And then there are other types of workflows that we're going to work on tonight that's based on a trigger. Like this thing happens over here, and when that thing happens, fire the rest of this off. So that's what we're going to build. So our trigger, and this won't make 100% sense like each step, but once we complete it here, you'll see, oh my gosh, that's so great. Hopefully. So you're going to add a new trigger. You click that little box, and this menu is going to open up over here. And we're going to do contact tag. It's like kind of this upper third here, contact tag. And then contact tag is going to add a filter, and then tag added. And then for this example, we're just going to do, these are the pre-made ones that you have already in there. Or if you're building something from scratch, you can say, oh, I need to add a new tag for whatever this is that you're building. But for tonight, let's just do a coach reminder. There's a training on Tuesday night. Okay. So we'll do coach. The tag is coach. All right, and we'll save that trigger. So now what this is saying is that from here on out, anytime that you add somebody with a contact coach, it's gonna add them to this list. So that's what it's telling us. So when we add a tag of coach, it's going to do the following actions. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a wait step. So that's the very bottom. So scroll down on the right-hand side, grab the wait step, and then we're going to do time delay. And then we're going to open this advanced window. And so let's just say, we can base it off of yours. Jen, when is your weekly team training?
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays. Okay. All right. So we're going to remind our folks the day before, like, hey, don't forget there's training tomorrow. Okay. So we're going to do Monday night, we're going to send them a text. Okay. So this is based on your time zone. So just to make sure that everybody is getting it at a normal time, you want to select a window, and let's just say kind of late afternoon, maybe like 3 to, let's just say, not AM, 3 to 4 p.m. Okay, because that's 7 o'clock at the worst if you're on Pacific time, getting it. So that's a good mid-afternoon, early evening time that people will get the reminder. Okay, so we're setting a wait time for Mondays between that window of time. If you say, no, I actually really want it to go out at an exact time, I really caution you, at least do a window of time of 15 minutes, like 3 p.m. to 3:15, because cell phone stuff gets weird. If it doesn't hit exactly at 3 o'clock, then just for some little hiccup, you've missed it. So just always give yourself a little like 15-minute window when you're creating this. So we'll just say between that time frame. And so now we're going to send them a text. And just for the sake of brevity here, I'm just going to say it's tomorrow. Okay. This up here, this will help you. This is a little trick here to name this. So we're going to send this out on Monday, right? So this is the Monday reminder. Okay, there. You can that way you can label things as you go. So you kind of like keep your mind straight around things. So what's going to happen is it's going to wait for Monday night, and then it's going to send them this text, and it's going to say, hey, I'm so excited to meet with you tomorrow for our weekly team training. Here's the link and whatever else that you want to post in that text box there. Okay. Then next, you have some options here. So you can end it here and just return to the beginning and remind them the next day as well. Some people want to say, no, I want to remind them the day before, and I want to remind them the day of. Okay, so I'm going to show you something really scary. Okay, so this system is based on your time zone. Okay, when you're building something, the events and everything in here are based on your time zone. But you may have clients that are in other time zones. And so I had a client that was like, this is a really big, important, like national event. I want to make sure that everybody, I don't care what time zone you're in, I want to make sure that 10 minutes before the event starts, I want to make sure that they all get a reminder. And so I just want to show you this ridiculousness. Please don't ever do this to yourself. This is the reminder. Yeah, this is the loop that we built. It would ask them like, hey, what time zone are you in? Cool, got it. And then it would save them in these little buckets to remind them at 10 minutes before their time zone. So just don't do that. Just say, hey, it's tomorrow at this time, 6, 7, 8, 9 Central, or whatever the thing is. Just save yourself a lot of work. So just so we can build this whole thing out, we're going to remind them the day before, and then we're going to wait. We'll add another wait step. And then we're going to do another time delay. So if we sent that out at 3 in the afternoon, the day before, worst case, 12 hours later would be 3 a.m. Nobody wants that. So let's just say like, we'll put in like 18 hours. So they'll get it like 9 in the morning, the day of your training. Okay. So we'll wait 18 hours. And then after that, we're going to send them another text the day of. So send SMS, and it'll say it's today. And does everybody know this little trick? You can say, hey, bracket, and then it's contact dot first underscore name, and then close the brackets out. and then it'll pull their first name in. So it'll say, hey, Michelle, it's the thing is happening today. Okay. So, and that applies system wide. So any text that you put that in, any email, whatever. So contact.first name. So you'll say, oh, it's today. Here's the link and everything. So after this, what you're going to do is you're going to look at that text message. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add another wait step because this is a loop. You want this just to happen every single week without you having to worry about doing it. So we're going to wait 6 days because this happens every week, right? So six days. Why not 7 days? I'll show you in a second. So 6 days. And then it's going to move them. The reason that we're waiting this 6 days is because before, when I first built this, I didn't put that wait time. So it would wait until Monday at, in this example, Monday at 3, and then it would just send them text after text after text. So don't forget, it's today, it's today, it's today. There's no end to the loop. So at some point in there, you have to put a break so that it doesn't like bomb them into existence. So you're going to send them the reminder. You're going to wait, a couple hours until the next day and say, hey, it's tonight at this time. You're going to wait 6 days. And then the last step of this is you're going to put the loop in. So it's at the very bottom and it's a go to step. So go to, and then it's going to ask you, which step do you want to repeat? So we're going to say we want to loop to the top, which is that wait until Monday thing. Okay. So this is, then you're going to publish it and save it. Okay. Now, if you remember, the trigger for this workflow is, does anybody remember? Yes, adding the contact tag of coach. All right, so let's see it in real time. Okay, so this is set up. It's just running in the background for you. You've put the day of your training. So now you've saved it, you published it. You're going to come back over here. And let's go back out to contacts. And I have a fake client called Random Guy. So, all right, let's pretend that Random Guy is like a new coach for you. I'm so excited I got to sign up a coach. So we're going to select him, and then you can add the tag from out here. All right, and then you can, okay, he's a coach, and you're going to make yourself a note and just say, I added a tag. Okay. All right, cool. So once it flashes, it'll come up in a second. There it is, coach. Okay. So now let's go look at it in real time. Let's go check that thing we just made. So we're going to find it, coach reminder test. Look at this. So it tells us that there's like one person currently enrolled in this this workflow. Over the course of its lifetime, in this case, it's only one person. There's been, but there's another one down here. You can see 5 people have run through this one. That's what these numbers mean. So let's go check it out. So when people are in your workflow, this could be even your start week works the same way. So you can see, okay, there's a little dude hanging out here, but he hasn't gotten his text yet. So look at this. This is like really, really helpful on all of your workflows. So you can click on this guy and say, oh, cool, it's Random Guy. I know him. And so over here, you can look at this status button. It's really hard to see. There we go. This thing. And then it's going to tell you exactly what's happening. So it looks like, okay, tonight at 5:16, it looks like he was added to the workflow and looks like he is currently waiting. And then what is he waiting for? So let's go check. So you come over here to more details on the side. And then right here, it's going to tell you executed. That means not the person, but the action was executed on the 27th at 5:16, and then it's waiting for May 1st, which is, I guess that would be, what did we say that was? That was a Tuesday or whatever, Monday night, right? So that's how you can tell like what's going on, where he's at. So let's just pretend that we'll go back over here to actions. Let's just say, for example, like shoot, he was maybe this is your start week and he's supposed to be on a different step than he is now. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on this guy, and over here you can see there's like a little guy running over here, right there. you can either remove him from this, like he's not supposed to be in there at all, or you can move him to the next step. So we're going to press that. And it's like, are you sure you want to move everybody to the next step that's in this stage? So we're going to say yes. Okay. So we're going to say move all, and watch what's going to happen. He's going to get that text message here. Once it like catches up, you'll see it pop down here. He'll get the text message, and then he'll move to the next wait step. Okay. So one thing I wanted to show you guys is there are some rules. I don't know if you saw on the training, but there are some rules of the way that we have to send texts. And one of those rules are you have to identify yourself on your text. You have to say, hi, this is, and then occasionally, if you're sending like a bunch of texts out at the same time, usually your individual client texts are okay. But if you're sending a bunch of texts all out at the same time, you want to make sure you follow the texting rules, and then it's like a bookend. So the top needs to say, hi, this is, and identify yourself with the name of your business. And the bottom needs to be reply. You've seen this, you've done this, I have. Reply stop to unsubscribe. Okay. So that we have to do that, but I'm going to teach you a quick little workaround. So we're going to add that in there. Okay. So let's just say that like you've got some kind of campaign going on. This happened like at the beginning of the year. A lot of coaches were like, sign up for my like 30-day challenge thing. I'm going to send you something every day or every week, beginning of the new year. And people get into that and they are excited to do it at the beginning, but like 4 days in, they're like, oh, please stop sending this to me, right? So we've all done that too. So not to be weird, but by law, if they reply stop, I have to block their number from you. I had somebody say, like, somebody replied stop, and I tried to text them just to say, thank you for allowing me to work with you. And like, if you ever want to work together again, but it won't let me. I'm like, yeah, because they replied stop. That means stop contacting them. So like once they reply stop, that's it. Unless they reply like restart, then it unlocks for you. But what I'm going to teach you is a little trick, and this will be kind of our last bit of this tonight, and then I'm going to leave the rest of the time open for questions. But what you're going to do, this is a cheater, okay? Back on this craziness, I know this is nuts. Just focus on one column here. We'll look at this center one. See this red and blue branch here? The branch says, I'm good. So what we're going to do is if they reply, like we'll just say, I'm good or later. If they reply, it's just going to remove them from the rest of this workflow. So watch this. So we'll reply. We'll just say this, reply later to be removed. I can't spell or type in front of people. Reply later to be removed from these reminders. Or you can say, or reply stop to unsubscribe. Okay. So we're going to save that. And then we're going to come back over here. Oops. Let me save this. Okay. And we're just going to build, we're going to come in the little triggers folder, and we're going to create a workflow from scratch. And it's really, really simple. It's just going to say customer replied. And it's down here with a little bell. I always misplace it. Customer reply. Here we go.
Yeah, there. I was like, you scrolled by it.
It's like everybody always sees it for you when you're the one looking for it. Okay, so customer replied, and then we said in that example contains the phrase. What do we say? We said, I'm good. Is that what we said? Or we say later? We said later, right? Okay. If they reply later, the system is listening basically. So anybody who sends in a text that says later in this example, what we're going to tell it to remove the customer from all workflows. So remove from all workflows, including this current one. So you don't have to do that. So what you could do is remove from all workflows. And then you can add a tag if you want to at this point, like not interested or whatever, or just leave it alone. That's fine. But at least this will honor their wishes to be removed from whatever reminders you're sending them, but not be able to like close their contact down from you forever. So and you can just put that on all of your text messages going out, and that will help you be able to stay in contact with everybody. Okay, because we've all done that. We've all signed up for something and then later we're like, this is too much or whatever. So this will help you later on. So I'm going to go back and show you one small nuance to that, and we'll open it up for questions in the last 15 minutes here. Okay, so I'll save this, we'll confirm. So let's go back to that one that we made, the coach reminder. Okay, so this is a loop to remind our people of our training every week. And the trigger for this is to add the contact tag coach. Now, here's the challenge. The trigger to start this thing is when you add the tag. So what do I do with all the people that are already in my system will already have the tag coach? Like, they're not going to be added to this. This is only good for new people that I'm adding coach tag to. So what do? So here, what you do is you go back over to your contacts, and you're going to filter over here, more filters. And then you're going to select that. We want to filter all of my contacts by the people that are a coach. And this is also how you set up a smart list. Maybe you've seen that before too. So I already have a smart list here called coach. Okay, so, but just to follow this, so if you haven't done this before, the tag is, we'll go to coach. Okay. We're going to apply, and it's going to filter all of my contacts by whoever has the tag coach. Now they can have other tags too, but if they have the coach tag, they're right here. So now you only have to do this one time when you're setting up a loop like this. So now we want to make sure that, well, I'm going to select all of these people, and then I'm going to add them to the workflow that we just created. Well, we have to select it. We have to find it. You guys can help me find it. Coach reminder test. Here it is. Okay, and we're just going to do it all at once right now. And then since coach reminder. Okay. And I'm going to add them to that. Cool. So now we'll go back over automation and we'll check our work. Okay, look at that. So there are 6 people in that workflow that we have just created. So that's how you get all of your, when you build a new workflow like that, that's like a reminder loop that has like a trigger, add contact. That's how you get all of your current people. So now it's done. So for the rest of my Optapro life, anytime I get a current client who becomes a coach and I add the tag coach, then they're going to be automatically added to my reminder that we have training on Tuesday night reminders or whatever it is, what it was. All right. So, and then just for last example's sake, now we have 7 people in there. So that's how that works. All right. So what kind of questions do you guys have?
I don't know if I have questions. I do know that I'm going to be watching this at least 5 more times.
Okay.
Because I was trying to do it while you're talking, and I'm like, yeah, no, I just got to watch.
Okay.
I got lost after name it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm with Jennifer. I'm like, okay, I can't do this while Archie's talking.
Okay. Well, this is what I would suggest. Like, use your random guy is a client that I put in all of my test things, like, so that I can send it to myself, so I don't look foolish in front of a client, like when I'm trying to figure out how the timing of something works or whatever. And then when you want to test it, like, let's go to automation here. This is really helpful when you're building something. Let's just say any of these workflows would work. When you have a SMS, for instance, and you type something in there, you want to test it and make sure it looks the right way or whatever. You come down to test phone number down here. This is annoying, but we have to do it. You have to put +1 because that's the country code for the United States. +1, and then send it to yourself. And then you can hit send test SMS, and then you can see what it looks like. Or add yourself as a fake client. And then usually, and I got that weird text with all that gibberish I just sent. So usually, sometimes you may have a hard time adding yourself with the same name. So to give it a funny name and a different email address. So if you have a different email address, and your cell phone number is usually okay. But that way you can test things to yourself. So we'll
I didn't want to interrupt and then you'd be like, bye.
Yeah.
Okay, if it's meaningful to anybody else, if not, we could talk about it later. But we had talked about, I can't remember exactly how it went, but it was something about a reminder that, like, because I was taking notes with what my client calls, and then there was something that I had specifically wanted to check in with that client about the next week. And I try to review my notes, but I was like, if there was a way to have a reminder that popped up, like ask about, like one of my clients had gone to a big event. She's lost over 100 pounds. And I specifically forgot to ask about like, how did the event go? So something like that, where, you know, obviously I know there's regular reminders, but how can you like kind of personalize it to a specific time or a specific client, that kind of thing?
Yeah, so let's do, so those are tasks. And yeah, you shouldn't have to scrub everybody's file to remember who was it that I was supposed to do whatever for. So when you first log into to Optapro, it usually dumps you here on the dashboard, and these are your tasks. So what you can do, that's one place to look at them, or let's just make a new one, okay? So we'll go to Larry Mitchell here. And let's just pretend you're in some kind of conversation with him. You make yourself a note about his, a new note about his like upcoming event. That's important. Okay. So you're going to make a note, and that's like, it's on Tuesday. And then you're going to make yourself, that's just a note, but you're going to make yourself a task. And then you're going to add a new task. And this is a task for you, not for the client. This is a task for you. And we're going to call Larry on Monday night about his event. And then you can say, you know, he lost 100 pounds or whatever. And then you're going to assign this, in this case, most of you, you're the only one on your team. So you're going to assign this to yourself. And then you're going to put the due date. So in this fictitious story, his event is on Tuesday. So we're going to call him on Monday the 1st at 6 p.m. Okay. So we're going to save that. Okay, now it's here on his thing, but on his client file. But you shouldn't have to like scrub and try to remember. Oh yeah, there was something for Larry I had to do. So when you're in contacts, you can. It's going to be on your dashboard. So when you first open Optapro, it'll be there for you. Or if you're working in here, you can always go to tasks and see. Oh yeah, okay. And then you can sort by when they're due, sort by, Larry has a bunch of stuff I got to do for him or whatever, sort by contact or whatever it is. I have to place that person's order. And then once you've done what you're supposed to do, then you can say, yes, I'm done. I've accomplished that task. Is that helpful? Is that what you're asking? Okay. Yeah, this just helps you be a really good attentive coach, attentive to people's details. And there's no reason not to systematize that for yourself.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you guys for being here.
All right, thanks, Archie.
Thank you guys.
Bye.